Wow, Steelers Nation. What a game. What a way to kick off the return of stressful Steelers football. And stressful Steelers football, it absolutely was to open up the 2025 season with Aaron flipping Rodgers, 41 years old, winning his first game as Steelers starting quarterback. 4
touchdowns.
4 passing touchdowns. I don't know when was the last time a Steelers quarterback threw for 4 passing touchdowns in a single game. I think we all know who it was. I don't know when that happened. I'd have to do my research. I did not yet, but Aaron Rodgers is the first quarterback to throw for 4 touchdowns in a single game since, of course, Ben Roethlisberger. Hey guys, quick cut from the conversation here. We want to thank the sponsor of today's video. Shout out to Profit X. They are America's #1 sports prediction market where users win real money predicting sports in 40 more states. You guys are able to predict sports outcomes, request your own odds for personalized plays, and play against others and get the best odds. Rather than playing against the house, it is a peer-to-peer system where you'll be playing against other players. It makes for better competition, you earn more and risk less. Using their dual currency system, they have the option of profit points or profit cash, which means you can play for fun or play for real while getting the best odds at your own pace. Sign up now to ProfitX.co using the promo code SteelTwins and sign up for a 1.5% back up to $200 on the site. That way you earn more, risk less, and win real money predicting sports. Shout out to ProfitX for sponsoring with us on this video. Now back to Aaron Rodgers. Looked good today.
In his first game as a Steeler against his old team, he returned to MetLife Stadium with a vengeance. ARod looked good.
ARod did not look 41 years old. Even though the line wasn't doing him any favors, although Kenneth Gainwell had at one point, or for the most part of this game, more carries than Jaylen Warren. Gainwell might have outsnapped Warren for all I know.
Sure as hell felt like it watching.
Aaron Rodgers still went for 22 of 30, 244 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He also got sacked 4 times, 3 of those coming from the side of Broderick Jones.
The left tackle position is just not good for the Steelers.
Broderick Jones sucks.
If you're not down with that,
I'm down with that.
I'm
I'm not. I'd much rather him not suck. Will with it too. 1 week down, and Rodgers put his name in for MVP.
If you're not down with that,
Autumn.
we've got 2 words
Man,
for
shout out to
you.
Autumn with 999. The last time we saw a 4 touchdown performance was when Ben was playing in the playoffs against the Browns in 2020. And that was mostly in garbage time.
If you want to count that, you can count that. But like regular season wise, ARod in his first game again as a Steeler, he went out there and balled.
No, he made literally no mistakes from my recollection. I wish Jaylen Warren got more than 11 carries for 37 yards. But when he got carries or when he got the ball or he saw the majority of the snaps over Kenneth Gainwell, bro, he was a main reason why we were able to get back into this game. We were down at one point, 2 scores. I believe the score was, I want to say 17-26 or something like that. I forget the score. But we were down, and Jaylen Warren was a big part into that drive because he was one of 4 passing touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers went for a bootleg and then got him in the flat. Warren walks in for a score. More Jaylen Warren, please.
Yes.
More Jaylen Warren, less Gainwell. It's nothing against Gainwell. It's just, who do you prefer?
Well, the thing is, Jaylen Warren's your starting running back. This was his first career start as the Steelers' starting running back because Najee was always healthy. But Warren, he's your starting running back. You should want to see, and you should see more of Jaylen Warren. And you saw that in just glimpses when Warren was in there. He was more effective, he was more ready, and he was more impactful than Gainwell. It's nothing against Gainwell. Gainwell's a solid player. There's just no reason to play your number 2 back more than your starter.
Absolutely.
2 words for you.
Barber with a 199. Switch TJ and Chris Boswell's contract right now. Chris Boswell, man. After this next one comes in, we got to touch on Chris.
We've got 2 words for you.
Robbie says with a 5, is Broderick Jones really as bad as he appears to be? Yes. Did you watch the game?
Broderick was awful.
Broderick was getting beat constantly.
We've got 2 words for
Billy
you.
Maher with a 499. I know it wasn't perfect, but it's always better to make adjustments and win than a loss. Great job, Aaron. Broderick Turnstile Jones. I have no words. Yeah, Broderick Jones, man. And listen, Fatano didn't look any better. He didn't allow a sack, I don't think. Maybe Fatano did, but he was getting beat off the edge too. I know they were going up against 2 former first-round edge guys, and Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson, but they're 2 former first-round tackles, and they both had rough games. I'll give Fatanu sometimes, being that this was really his only second career start. Same thing can be said for Broderick on the left side, But dude, Broderick.
No. This is your 4th year, and this is the type of play you do to start the season. It's inexcusable. No. I'm sorry.
I'll give Fatanu more time. I'll give the line more time. And
that's the thing. The line, it's going to take some patience. It's going to take some progress. We all know this. There's still young guys that are going to have to gel well and get that communication on point, especially the tackles with Broderick and Fatanu.
Right.
It just wasn't a good start for them.
No.
That's just what we've seen.
Well, they had a tough matchup. That Jets front seven's no joke. They might not have a lot of crazy name value, but they got some players. They got a lot of youth there. So props to the Jets on that. DK, 4 catches, 83 yards. He had 2 really good yak yards plays, actually 3 of them. He had a solid debut, 4 catches, 83 yards off of 7 targets. He had a few drops, including his first target, but DK had a good game. He came up big when we need him. Talking about coming up big, how about Calvin Austin's 4 catches, 70 yards, and a touchdown. Every pass thrown his way, he made plays. Every single pass. Calvin Austin has always been one of those guys you can trust. When he gets the ball, good things happen, and he is our wide receiver 2 right now.
We've got 2 words for you.
Steve Travis with a 5. Shout out to Steve.
Shout out to Steve Travis, man.
Defense, please earn your checks. Stress level is up in week 1. Yeah, already.
Yeah, but listen, when Metcalf wasn't getting open, when he wasn't getting targets, Calvin Austin was. Like, when we needed a wide receiver 2 to be open, when we needed another target to be involved, that was Calvin Austin. There was even a play where Brandon Stevens was in coverage on Calvin. Calvin was able to make the grab. Stevens had his arm in there, but Calvin, with the strong hands that he's got, even for a man his size, was able to hold on. That was a big play by Calvin Austin.
At 5'8.5", he's making catches as if he's DK size. Calvin's a stud. A stud, and honestly, I wouldn't hate it at all if he gets an extension. Next in line with Chris Boswell. Boswell, to get us up, we were down 31-32 with a little over a minute left at the logo. 60 freaking yards, a career long for Boswell. There was no doubt. There was no question. There was no fright coming from Chris Boswell. He nailed that sun gun down the middle.
We've got 2 words for
And Bos we trust, and he helped us win this football game. In a tough situation, Chris Boswell, out of everyone coming up, deserves an extension. Not
Absolutely.
Hayward. Calvin deserves one, but get in line behind Boswell.
Boswell hit 2 boomers today, a 56-yarder earlier in the game, and to give the Steelers the lead and the win, basically, the 60-yarder, a new career long. Boswell continues to show that he is the true killer bee.
But outside of that, yeah, the offense outplayed the defense, and I didn't think I was going to say that waking up this morning.
Going into this game, we thought that, all right, we have some confidence in the defense. They got a lot of pedigree. They got a lot of name value. And usually the defense knows how to hold it down.
And there's a lot of price going into that defense. Patrick Queen, who didn't look good today. You got TJ Watt getting a lot of money. He just got a big extension. Cam Hayward being all greedy and crying about needing to feed his family. Cam Hayward was as quiet as anybody on this defense. I'm being honest.
Like, if Hayward did not agree to the incentives and missed his game, it would have made no difference.
Yeah, because
if
honestly,
I'm being real, it would have made no difference because we hardly saw Cam Hayward involved.
Yeah, Hayward played as if he wasn't playing. In fact, a lot of this defense played as if they weren't playing.
Dog, the rushing defense, what they allowed was not good. They allowed 182 rushing yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns.
And the last time we saw the Steelers play legit football, they allowed almost 300 to the Ravens. The run defense doesn't seem to be improved. I know we didn't have Harmon, but they did everything they did in the offseason and in the draft to prevent a repeat against the Ravens. And all we did was see a little bit of a repeat. Justin Fields carved this defense up. Justin Fields made no mistakes today. None. Justin Fields. And I'm not hating on Fields. I remember wanting him back out of everyone else this offseason.
Based off the quarterback options, we said Fields is the best option, at least from our point of view, from our, research.
And he looked good. He looked really good. He carved up this defense. Even though when there was pressure coming, he stepped up. He extended plays. He was dotting up towards the middle of the field. He was threading the ball in impossible windows. I got to give props to Fields. I don't know if it's because he has new coaching over there in New York, because he has Tanner Estring as his OC, who was previously the Lions passing game coordinator. The Jets have an entirely new landscape in the coaching aspect, while the Steelers have the exact same from last year. So I don't know if it's a coaching change for him, a new change of scenery, or maybe because our defense has given up the same mistakes they have for the past several years now, under Terrell Austin and especially under Mike Tomlin.
You have the same coaching staff, and I would assume the same coaching scheme, just a different cast of characters on that defense player-wise. If you have the same scheme, like, how much is it really going to change?
Breece Hall, 19 carries, 107 yards. Justin Fields had 2 touchdowns on the ground. Braylon Allen got a touchdown. Garrett Wilson had 7 catches, 95 yards, and a tutty. The Steelers, I believe, up until the last drive of the first half, they allowed a touchdown every single drive up until the last drive. The Jets didn't punt a single time in the first half. Not once.
No. And it's the first time that actually happened since 1991.
And we're talking about the highest paid defense here. We're talking about a Steelers defense that is fully healthy outside of Derrick Harmon. You got Hayward, you got Highsmith, you got Watt, you got Wilson, Queen, Ramsey, Slay, JPJ, who got hurt, Deshaun Elliott, who exited this game with a knee injury. I don't know what the extent of his injury is, but we're going to need him.
I hope it is not severe.
I hope it's not severe either. But, bro, we were, for the most part, fully stacked, fully healthy, and this defense only allowed, 3 drives all game that the Jets didn't score, maybe 4? The last 2 obviously being what helped get the Steelers the victory. The defense played awful today. Did they step up when they needed to? Did Ramsey make the play at the end on 4th down and trucking that ball out of Garrett Wilson's hands? Absolutely. In fact, the only guys that really came to play today were Ramsey and Watt. Highsmith got a sack as well. But that's the extent of the positive coming from the defense. I don't care if it's game 1. I don't care if it's the start of the regular season. I don't care if you got all these new fresh faces. It's the same mistakes over and over and over. It's as if they were literally coming off of the Ravens' playoff loss. It's like they played the week after that and made no adjustments. The run defense sucked. The tackling sucked. Patrick Queen looked rough. The defensive line altogether looked soft. It was bad.
Just a lot of gaps that were wide open, just lanes that Breece Hall was able to get up the seam and just run up. He had a lot of chunk yardage on the ground. A lot more than we like to see the Steelers defense give up.
The defense was very disappointing, and there is a lot to work on.
And I can understand, it's week 1. There's not a whole hell of a lot of tape to really, look into and evaluate and dig into. I get it. But even then, I'm not going to give the defense an excuse because allowing 32 points is inexcusable.
They have no excuses. They have one of the most stacked defenses in the entire league right now. They're paying all these players big bucks.
So you went up against a quarterback that you literally had in your backyard just last year. You know exactly what he can bring to the table. And you had Fields basically dice up this defense. The man didn't break a sweat the majority of the game. The guy was not panicking. He wasn't uncomfortable. The guy was as composed as I probably have ever seen him.
Yeah,
I got to give Fields credit. Fields had a good game.
He did.
We've got 2 words.
And I wish Fields nothing but the best, but today he was the enemy.
SteelTwins Nation 412 with 2 says, game of the week, games of the century. This was definitely a game of the week candidate.
And
both offenses scored 30 points.
I don't think anybody coming into this game envisioned this game being as high scoring as it was.
No.
I know I didn't.
Well, I tell you what, I didn't expect the Steelers offense to come out with an opening drive touchdown. The first time they've done that since 2008 in week 1. An opening drive touchdown to guess who? You'll never guess. Ben Skoranek in the slot.
Shout out to Skoranek, man. I mean, he had the opening drive touchdown, the first touchdown for the Steelers this season. Quality player, good run blocker as well, but a good special teams guy too. Made a couple special teams tackles, and Kenneth Gainwell was actually able to strip the kick returner for the Jets. I think his name is Gibson. And Skoranek was able to fall on the ball immediately, which allowed Calvin Austin to score just 2 plays later.
Yeah, which gave the Steelers the lead there, which got them back in the game.
That was a turning point in that game.
Yeah, which was huge because if the Steelers defense came back off onto the field at that point, I don't know if we win this game. That fumble was crucial, and the points off turnover and 2 plays later, Calvin scores. That was big. The fact that the offense took advantage of the turnover, the fact that the offense went battle for battle, blow for blow with the Jets, that shows you that ARod still got a little bit in him. That shows you that even with DK and an uncertainty option at wide receiver 2, although Calvin stepped up, he even got a touchdown to Jonnu Smith today. With all that, the offense still was the biggest positive out of this game. Can they keep it up? I hope so.
Consistency, man. That's what's going to have to be something to keep a watchful eye on for not just next week against the Seahawks, but going throughout the season, especially for the offense. Can the offense be consistent? Can they continue to be in sync? Can they continue to do what they need to do? Can ARod continue his performance that he did today?
I hope so. But one thing for sure is we need the defense to absolutely play better.
The defense needs to hold their end of the bargain.
No, with everything that they've invested into the defense, this was bad. I don't care if it's week 1, bro. You got the same scheme, and obviously the same scheme is still leading to the same issues that we've seen pretty much ever since Mike Tomlin took over the defense.
And keep in mind, a big focal point into the offseason for the Steelers was to stop the run. They couldn't do that.
Yeah, look what they did in the draft. I know Harmon wasn't playing, but you double-dipped on the D-line. You brought in Malik Harrison, all this, and you allowed 182 yards on the ground.
It's inexcusable. I'm sorry.
Bob,
And I know the Jets' rushing offense is very good. We knew this coming in, but still. We're not able to close the gaps whatsoever.
yeah,
If you're not down with
I was waiting on that.
we've got 2 words for
Barbara FM 199 says Smith called a solid game. TD also Cam not worth $3 million. I don't know if he'll get it with the way this defense is playing. Steve Travis with it too says who is our running back one, Gainwell or Warren? Well, it's Warren, but from the looks of it, yeah, it looked like Gainwell was the main running back. I don't know why he got so many touches. I don't know why he got so many carries. For at least 3/4 of the game, he outsnapped and outcarried Warren. Why?
Yeah, Gainwell was more of a third down back than Warren was, and I don't understand.
Yeah, there's probably 2 negatives I'll give the offense. One is the line, and particularly Broderick Jones. And the other one was the usage of Gainwell and Warren. Why is Gainwell getting most of the carries? Why is Gainwell getting most of the reps? Who would you rather prefer in that situation? Warren. So I'm hoping that gets jumped. We get an increase of Warren in the weeks going forward.
And what the rushing offense is going to be moving forward throughout the season, you know, we didn't really see a whole hell of a lot. Obviously, the rushing offense was non-existent in this game, but they kind of had to avoid it because the Steelers had to continue to play catch-up. Hence, ARod throwing for 4 touchdowns.
Yes.
And he did well. ARod did very well. He did, you know, when he was needed, when the Steelers needed him, he pulled through. Props to ARod.
Absolutely.
But I would like to see the Steelers offense, rushing offense, be a bit more progressive. More of Warren, please. Less of Gainwell. I just don't envision or see Gainwell as a running back. He's more of a receiving back. But Warren is the guy to run the ball with. He's your feature back. He's your starting running back. He's the guy you gave an extension.
Yeah.
Try to be more effective, run the ball. Hopefully next week.
Those are the adjustments we got to make for next week for sure. But hopefully the injury of JPJ and Elliott aren't severe because we're going to need them in the secondary.
Especially Elliott, because when he got hurt, I mean, he could barely put weight on it, and he threw his helmet on the turf.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that's not severe. We get them back soon. The defense overall has got to do better. I hope when we get Harmon in there that the D-line will kind of be at full strength, but they got to make adjustments. They got to do better because that was bad today. I was very disappointed in the defense. Shout out to Ramsey for making the play at the end. Shout out to Watt for really being the guy most of the game to step up. But defense played rough. They got to clean this up. There's no excuse for them to be playing the way they did today.
None.
No excuse.
None.
And the offense, they got to keep up what they're doing. But like Rob said, we got to give Warren the ball more. And the O-line, it's going to take some time. It's going to take a little more patience. But how much more can we really give them, especially a guy like Broderick? But
especially with an O-line coach like Pat Meyer, who's been here what feels like forever.
yeah. Literally forever.
Just do better. Do better. If you can't do your job, then maybe you shouldn't be here.
But at the end of the day, this is stressful Steelers football we're talking about. It wasn't pretty. It was definitely ugly, but the Steelers did what they had to. They put 30 points on the board in their season opener, and they got the dub. As stressful and as tough as it was,
or as ugly as it was, I did envision an ugly win. I just didn't think it was going to be as high scoring as this was.
No, like if you took the under, bro, I'm sure you're very upset right now. But Steelers,
I know I would be.
Steelers win 34-32 to end the game. They start 1-0. They start 1-0 to open the season. Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdowns. Let's keep building on this. We got the home opener next week, which should be very entertaining. Aaron Rodgers' first game in Heinz Field. I'm sure he'll get a hell of a reception, especially seeing what he did today.
Yes.
There's still a lot to work out. There's still a lot to work on. The good thing is it's early. It's a long season. It just sucks seeing these errors all over again.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words.
Eddie T, 199. Y'all still asking for more even after a win. I don't want the defense giving up 182 rushing yards.
I don't want the defense giving up 30 points a game. I don't.
Dude, they scored 30 points a game.
Listen,
and
I am happy we got the win. At the end of the day, we got the win. I'm happy. But that doesn't mean I'm going to let it slide because we got the win. Still inexcusable of what the defense allowed in the first game.
Yeah.
I can only hope that they just go back into practice and just work on the mechanics, work on what they need to do. Look at the film, look at what you need to study on, work on what you need to grow on.
Absolutely. I mean, again, it's week 1. It's a long season. They got the dub regardless. Shout out to ARod, shout out to Boz, shout out to Calvin, DK. All of them stepped up today, and we start the season 1-0. We got the home opener next week for week 2. Should be entertaining. Hopefully the team can progress and have a better defensive performance, and the offense can just adapt and grow upon this.
Yes, sir.
With ARod, of all people, at quarterback, at 41 years old, not showing his age, and leading this team to his first victory in his first game as Steelers starting quarterback. I'll take that, and I'll enjoy that for the rest of my day. Otherwise, you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the rest of Week 1 football. We got a ton of games coming up for the rest of Week 1 and, of course, Monday night. So Steelers got to adapt. Steelers got to improve on some things. There's a ton to work on, but at least they got the dub. That's good energy going into the home opener, and we'll see what they can build off for next week. Let us know your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. How do you guys feel about the victory? How do you guys feel about ARod? How do you guys feel about the defense?
Want to know, man.
Love to hear your guys' opinions. With that being said, we're getting on out of here. Like, comment, subscribe. We greatly appreciate you. Follow us on the socials. Links down in the description. Obviously in the overlay below. And, yeah, see you in the next one. Here we go, Steelers. 1-0.
And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Peace!